Gene Hackman is a name that echoes through Hollywood history, a two-time Academy Award winner, a powerhouse actor, and a man whose presence on screen was unforgettable. But behind the fame and flashing cameras lies a much quieter, more emotional story, one that centers around the woman who loved him before the world knew his name, Fay Maltese, his first wife. What happened to her? Why did she disappear from public view after standing by Hackman through his rise to stardom? And what secrets might she have carried with her all those years? Let's uncover the emotional story most people never heard. It all began in New York in the 1950s. A young, struggling Gene Hackman met Fay Maltese at a YMCA dance. He was just a 25-year-old with dreams bigger than his bank account. She was sharp, driven, and full of quiet strength. That night, as jazz music filled the room, they danced and something clicked. Soon after, they married and began a life filled with hope, hardship, and relentless hustle. Living in a tiny apartment with no hot water, Fay supported them by working as a secretary while Gene juggled odd jobs and endless acting auditions. She believed in him more than anyone else, and maybe even more than he believed in himself. As Gene's career took off, everything changed. Success brought money, fame, and non-stop movie roles, but it also brought distance. He was gone for months at a time. Fay, once his closest supporter, became someone left waiting at home, raising their 3 children alone, holding a family together in his absence. Hackman later admitted with regret, "I lost touch with my son. Maybe it had to do with being gone so much." Fay never publicly criticized him, but those close to her said she lived with quiet sadness. One friend recalled her saying, "He wasn't a bad man, but he was never really part of this family." After over 30 years of marriage, she quietly filed for divorce in 1986. There were no headlines, no interviews, just silence, and that silence spoke volumes. Hackman remarried in 1991 to Betsy Arakawa, a pianist much younger than him. The couple lived a private life in Santa Fe, New Mexico, but in February 2025, tragedy struck. Gene and Betsy were both found dead in their home just days apart. Reports said Betsy died from a rare virus, and Hackman passed from heart disease and Alzheimer's complications. But a mysterious phone call made from Betsy's phone after her supposed time of death raised eyebrows. Had she really died when authorities claimed, or was something else going on behind closed doors? After their deaths, Hackman's will revealed that he had left his entire $80 million estate to Betsy, with no mention of his children from his first marriage. But since Betsy died first, the estate's future became legally complicated. One of Hackman's sons even hired a high-profile lawyer, hinting at a deeper rift within the family. Why would a man who once built a life with Fay, who had children with her, choose to leave them nothing? Gene Hackman will forever be remembered as one of the greatest actors of our time. But behind the performances was a man who, by his own words, missed the moments that truly mattered. He gained the world, but at the cost of the people closest to him. And Fay Maltese? She chose to stay silent. She never sold her story, never gave interviews, never exposed the pain she must have felt. But maybe that was her way of reclaiming a bit of power in a life lived too long in someone else's shadow.